Hello, welcome back to the Laptop Trader channel. Again, my name is Philip. I'll be hosting this month's presentation. I'm here to share my trading experience, give back to the stock trading community one video at a time. Again, this channel is mainly for new or recovering traders, but all are welcome. Our monthly videos cover different aspects of stocks, markets, stocks, ETFs, stages, and technical analysis and other stock market topics, and how to create confidence by putting the odds in your favor. And my email contact if you have any questions or comments, laptoptraderphil@gmail.com. Quick disclaimer, this video is for information only and should not be considered investing advice. Caution, trade at your own risk. Most stock traders lose money, especially day traders. Please protect yourself at all times. Any stock suggestions are up to you to decide if that is appropriate for you. Good luck and God bless. Quick agenda for December. We're going to just review the markets from the last month to this month. I'm going to pick out a stock of the month for you guys to watch and study. We watched a movie of the month, which is pretty good, so I figured, well, we'll just throw that in there too. Merry Christmas to you, my loyal subscribers. I've got a shared watch list going into December and the new year, which I can share all those ticker symbols with you. I've got an annual apprenticeship application. If you need help or you want help, you're welcome to apply for an annual apprenticeship. And I do that for free. But you must send me an email stating why you need my help and what you expect. And maybe I can help you, maybe I can't. But I take on a few students every year for free. And I'm going to extend that here into 2026. So good luck if you need that or want to access some more help. And then next month in January, we'll get back to the basics. Why the stock market works, your personal financial goals, why socialism underperforms and communism fails people versus a capitalism type of society or a merit-based society. So that's what's coming up in January. Anyway, starting out by educating yourself on how the markets work and finding out what is right for you. Invest in yourself and then invest in the markets. Okay, so let's get to the charts as we always do. Let's get to, right off the bat, let's get to the SPY. What do we see? We see, up about 6-7 months, made a new high in October, bottoming tail bar in November, indicating sellers try to push this market down, failed in November, so that's why we left that bottoming tail. So far in December, through the first week, the overall market is up about 0.34%. One note of caution here is it looks like this market is getting, for lack of a better word, overbought. These last three bars look very similar to me to what kind of happened back here where we made a new high. We had this bottoming tail, we had a smaller bar, we had an inside bar, and eventually the sellers did take over. So I think that is a possibility here that in January, February, the sellers do take over and push this market back down, or this market continues sideways into the new year. As far as a Christmas rally goes, that's possible, but I'm not expecting a whole lot this month. Again, this market has been bought up for 6 or 7 months now, and so it's getting a little bit tired, in my opinion. We take a look at the Nasdaq. A very similar picture. Made a new high in October, pulled back in November. Now December, we're actually below the top of November's prices there, so a little bit of weakness there in the Nasdaq. Let's take a look at the diamonds. This is still, all these are still an uptrend, but very similar picture here where we're starting to lose momentum. We've got a range expansion candle here, where you can see sellers came in. And then again, right, so far we're just kind of inside for December. IWM, to me, is surprisingly looking a little bit stronger than the other markets. This bottoming tail happened, it still happened after the market was up 6 months and we made a new high, but then this came in, and now this month, so far, the IWM is up just under 1% for this month and looking like it could push up to new highs. Now, this has been a weaker market for most of the year versus the others, But there's a lot of small cap stocks in there that may be performing, causing that to happen in the IWM. And finally, transport index just made a new high here in December. So the transports look very good. I think what I'm seeing between these first 5 charts is an overall economy that is growing, is what I think I'm seeing. Even if the major big cap tech names are not. It seems to me like the small caps and these transport companies are doing pretty good. And transports actually were sideways for the last 3-4 months. And now we're breaking out to new highs in transport. So I think that's generally good for the economy and the market in general. All right, let's get to some other charts here. That's a general overview of the market. Let's keep on track. Okay. Stock of the month. I'm going to show you one that I still like. It's been on my list for quite a while. I have a very small position in this, but we can see stage 1 here. And this stock has always had very good volume. We had a nice move up in this stock from June this year. And now we've pulled back. So October was down a little bit, 2.5%. November is basically break even versus October, even though that had a wider price range. And so far in December, it's down 7%. So, and most of that was on Friday, down 5.67% on Friday. But I like this because I like the overall fact that this came up big time on volume and now it's pulling back. It may pull back another month, maybe another 2 months, I don't know. But this is one that has the interest of the market. Look at that, 340 million shares traded in July. 377 million shares traded in September. And, on a slow month, this thing's traded 132 million shares. So there's some big interest in this company. Symbol open door technologies. If we look at a daily chart, the thing I like about this too is, it's been pulling back, and it went, this range and this volatility expanded, but so far it's bouncing off of my longer term moving average and kind of forming this wedge pattern, which could go either way, right? It could break below all this, but it looks to me like we've got some definite buying demand with some of these larger these larger green candles in here. And I think if it gets over about the 815 area, I really like this. In fact, if it gets over 815, I'm going to add to this. If it gets over 826. So over 825, 826, I like Open Door Technologies. That is kind of the stock of the month that I've been watching. Not ready yet, but I think it's getting there. So that's that. Movie of the month. Me and my wife watched a pretty good Christmas movie. I think it's pretty good for all ages. It's called Holiday in the Wild, starring Rob Lowe and Kristen Davis. So that was a pretty entertaining movie for the holidays. Maybe that's something you like. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. Now let's get to a shared watch list for you guys. Let's get to that watch list, okay? And this is what I'm watching here in December. I'll just kind of go down slow. If you guys want to, maybe stop the video if you want to take note of these symbols. Starting with Gilead Sciences and just going down. I think I've got probably 30 or 40, maybe 50 names tops on this list. This is what I put together. Stuff I'm watching right now. Tesla's in there. Lowe's companies. Apple. We've got iHeartMedia. Roku I like. Let's do that. I'm still watching these quantum companies. QTUM, BBAI, QBTS, IonQ, Rigetti. All those are still on my watch list. Fiverr, Chewy, NerdWallet, Intel Corp, Dave, Financial, Potbelly Corp had a nice move, so that's on the watch list. JFrog, Lemonade Insurance, LMND, is one that. Alto Ingredients, Lyft has been. I kind of like the pattern of Lyft versus Uber right now. I actually like both of those long term. Valero Energy, and at the end, DigitalOcean. So I'll just kind of scroll slowly for you guys if you want to watch along with those names. And if something looks appealing to you, I'd encourage you to, take a trade, see how it works out, see how your chart reading skills are doing. Okay, so that's that. What else can we look at? Let's look at. How about we look at some ETFs real quick? Okay, ETF list. Let's take a look at those. Including Bitcoin is in here too. So Bitcoin has had a pretty rough couple of months. So definitely down from its highs there in October. That selling continued in November. Down significantly, almost 17%. And so far this month, just kind of not moving too far right there, but kind of hanging towards the bottom of this range of that previous candle. So that still looks like, kind of a bad spot. Again, we already covered the SPY. Transports volatility index is pretty steady at 15.41 at its close this week. So that's fairly low volatility. So that does look good as far as if, in general, stocks are going to go higher or at least not go lower. Let's take a look at energy names. As XLE has definitely had a nice move up here off the bottom. Has been sideways for about 3 months. And I like energy here over 46.65. So if that gets over that, I think you can see energy names go up. And there is some energy names that have been doing pretty good. The financial index looks healthy. This looks like it's been correcting now for about 4 months, 5 months here towards the top, just kind of holding that range up there. So that looks good going into December next year. Consumer discretionary, we had a all-time high. Bottoming tail, expansion of a range, another bottoming tail, expansion of a range, and now this inside candle so far for December. So that could go either way. We'll see how consumer discretionary holds up or not. If it does, then yeah, that looks good long. Healthcare. Healthcare looked really good last month, and so far this month it's sold off slightly, sold off about 2.8% this month. If that can reverse course and get above these two price candles, I think healthcare definitely looks higher. Technology, new high in October, sold off November. So far this month is kind of trading inside of that previous month's candle, so that could go either way. Utilities look good in October, looked okay in November, but so far in December have been selling off. So if you're in utilities, that looks like that could go lower, down almost 4. What is it down? Almost 4.5% in December. So that's definitely pulling back. Industrial sector just kind of maintaining this range toward the highs. So that could go either way. Industrials, but that's looking good for next year. Materials looks, okay, but not great. Communications sector, still in a nice uptrend. We had this kind of pullback, almost a 3-bar turn right there, right? So if this gets over 109.70, close the week here at, gets over 119.55, close this week at 117.13. So I like that over 119.5 for any communications ideas. Consumer staples looked like it was going to turn around here in November, and it really, so far December, is just kind of pulling back again. So this was in this downtrend, right? Consumer staples are pretty weak. They had a nice November up 4%, but now Looks like there's still some selling pressure there in consumer staples. Finally, real estate has been sideways for, 7, 8 months. There's probably some opportunities within real estate. I still like that sector going forward, but it's in just kind of this bottoming pattern of, this base. If it could break out of the base, yeah, I like anything within real estate there. And finally, let's take a look at interest rates. These have been on the steady decline since the high back here in 2023 at just under 5, 4.99. Closed this week at 4.13. So relatively overall, historically that's a pretty good number for interest rates. 4, maybe the government would like it down more at 3 or lower, but historically that's not bad. So I don't think 4.13 is going to prevent people from borrowing money. As we know, people borrow money on credit cards all the time at 18 or 25 or 30%. So I don't think 4.13 is going to stop people from buying houses. So I think that's a fair interest rate at this time. And that's it for that general review of the markets. I currently only have about 6 positions. I've got 3 free trades in symbols IDAI. I'll just show you my holdings right now, and then we'll close this video up with that, just to give you guys an update. Again, my stocks definitely got hurt in the pullback over a few months. So as the S&P and the Qs have kind of hit this top and kind of pulled back, my individual holdings definitely got hit. But I'm still in this one, IDAI. This is a free trade for me. Kind of a bottoming pattern there, stage 1. I'm in Open Company. Again, that's a free trade for me because I bought somewhere back here. So that's still a open trade. And I'm still in SoFi company, SoFi Technologies. This is looking more and more like this is the top. So if there's a high probability I get stopped out of SoFi here, but if it pulled back to some sort of reasonable level, I would re-enter that one. But that's a free trade for me. I tried this one. I got stopped out of Gilead twice. So this pattern to me looked very conducive to going higher. It did go higher. I entered, and then I got stopped out. So that happens. You get these nice breakouts, and then you get stopped out next day or next week. If this reverses course, this month or in January, I'd re-enter Gilead Science. And again, I already shared my watch list with you. So that's about it for this month. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm not going to get too carried away with anything else. Again, if you guys have questions, I do have an active email here. In closing, I hope this makes sense and helps if you're a struggling trader or do not understand the market very well. The market is a big auction, moves on supply and demand. Things that affect supply and demand are economic news, earnings announcements, company or industry-specific news. I am looking to take advantage of low volatility and tight price areas or bases and profit when and if price expands along with volume and volatility expanding. It works both ways, both up and down in price. So good luck to you. Again, my name is Phil. I'll see you next year in January. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Bye.